So welcome to the video, guys. Here I'm going to be sharing, on this video rather, I'm going to be sharing the my highs and lows from the most recent Welsh National Homebrew competition, which was in September 2019, last month, where I managed to pick up the gold friggin' medal. Check that out. So I'll run through my experience of it, the feedback, the highs, and definitely the lows, and the confusing bits for my brews anyway, and my determination on it. Noise in the background, you can probably hear that going, hammer and tongs. That is my smoked chili porter. So it's my annual chili porter, and I've chucked in some smoked malt with it this year as well, just to see how it gets on. And using fresh chilies, not dry chilies, so it's an experiment, isn't it? Let's grab the award-winning beer. There we have it. Let's pull up a chair. Let's find the recipe first. It's not going to be complex, but so this is my Happy Pills recipe. Let's have a whistle wetter first. So quick run through the recipe. 100% Pilsner, lager malt. Hops, I went for Simcoe just as a bittering hop, and obviously then Saaz, so it was 10 grams of Simcoe, 40 grams of Saaz. Done my water additions for the style of beer, and I used White Labs 2007 Pilsen lager yeast, and I lagered it using my normal lagering method, which has worked very well in the past. I'll put a link to that video below as well, rather than repeat it. And no special notes added. So it's Pilsen light lager water profile on Brewfather. That's what I aimed for. That's about it for the recipe. Lager, simple, clean, refreshing. And the comments from the BJCP certified judges. Hang on a sec. That noise is distracting me. Overall, I've had one score of 39 and another score of 41. So good scores, I believe. So the general feedback from one of the judges, bready, low grain, green fruit, hop taste, clean, little alcohol, hint of fruitiness with esters, light beads of carbonation. Yeah, I agree. Dry character, some fruitiness, bitterness, and he said quite bitter, a little too much for style. Now I agree it's too much for the style, but God, Pilsners can be so one-dimensional, and I thought, you know, I'm only putting 2 bottles into the homebrew competition. I'm gonna have a whole keg of this, so I thought I'd spice it up a bit for my own taste. But yeah, maybe next time I'll make a smaller batch, or yeah, maybe dry hop the version I'm keeping back or something like that. I don't know. Very dry finish, slightly astringent. I suppose that's normal for the style. Final comments, a very refreshing pale lager, but finish a bit too dry with some astringency. Flavour and aroma also a little too bitter for style, and that was 41 out of 50, which I'm really chuffed with. The other person, I'm not going to name any names, really tough to read the handwriting. This must have been later on in the day. Too bitter for style, general theme going on. This is one massive long word right across the bottom there. or it's a sentence in one word. I can't read it. But right at the bottom, otherwise enjoyable to drink. So Iechyd, cheers to that. That was 39 points, so chuffed with that one. So yeah, that was a quick rundown of my award-winning beer. I'm an award-winning homebrewer. Who would have thunk it? That was my second attempt at entering a homebrew competition, excluding the Facebook just for laughs one. But that is my second attempt, and come away with a gold. And yeah, it was it's quite entertaining. We were out with friends when the results were due out, and I apologised, and we were in a restaurant. I said, do you mind if I just check my phone? It's about 9:10, and the results are going to be up at 9 o'clock. And they said, yeah, you carry on. And I scrolled, and obviously International Pale Lager was the first category, and I just saw my name with a gold trophy thing next to it, and I jumped back. Hooray! Yeah, that didn't go down very well in the restaurant, let's put it that way. But anywho, I entered 3 beers into the competition. So this one, second time I entered it, come away with a gold, chuffed to bits. I also entered my rhubarb saison, which I brew a couple of times a year. It's one of my favourite styles, and I've shared it between a lot of people through the BrewTube and friends and family and whatever, and get generally good feedback from it. The feedback I had from the judges last year, 2 years ago, was a very good saison base. Rhubarb isn't detectable, need more rhubarb. It's a shame. That's all I had through it repeated. So there was 1.5 kilos in my brew for a 5-gallon brew. So I decided to put 2.5 kilos of rhubarb into this batch. And same recipe, same water profiles, everything, and same yeast, and just banged it in. The feedback I had this time, brilliant. Didn't get a place because it only scored 30, which I think is lower than the last one. But feedback was rhubarb on the nose, slight fruit, slight hint of barnyard, but not much. Now you can see where this is going now already, can't you? Low level of malt present, no hop detected. Oh, here we go. Definitely getting the rhubarb and overpowering everything else. Now, man, what are the other comments? So malt and hops are negligible. As a judge, how can you drink all day and write that down? Negligible. I can't even say it. Subtle farmhouse, moderate rhubarb. Okay, that's on the aroma. The appearance, fine head. Light pink hue, which is brilliant. Light malt sweetness, only minor saison farmhouse character. Low to moderate tartness. Dry tart, gentle, moderate tartness, rhubarb dominates. So, the closing comments, this was a 29 score, this one. Lacks significant saison flavour and aroma, but a lovely beer which would be better suited to a rhubarb sour classification. Bear with me on that one. The 31 pointer finished off with a good beer, and the rhubarb certainly shines through. Now, is that sarcasm? Did he review this last year and knew exactly what I did, or what? Not getting any of the saison profile. I am determined with this beer to find the perfect category for it and the balance of rhubarb. If anyone's got any suggestions other than put it into a category which is suited to a rhubarb sour classification, because it's not actually a soured beer, it's a fruit beer. So yeah, I'm going to get it a medal. I am going to get it a medal somehow or another. But that is half the game with these homebrew competitions, is nailing the category that the beer's in. You might brew it thinking that you're making a IPA, and you might not have like the malt backbone to it or the right ABV or hop character, and it might end up being a pale ale or an American pale ale, or you know, I always think you've got to brew the beer first and then try and fit it into the category, not go, I'm going to submit an IPA. Aim for it and then just adjust where you think it should live. Obviously it's got to match the BJCP guidelines. The third beer I entered, I'll go and get another sample glass. So the third beer I entered was a American Amber Ale, which again, it started life off as a different beer. I'm sure it was a pale ale or something like that, but I put too much caramel in it, I think it was. Anyway, I ballsed up, but entered into that category and I tripped myself up, I'll tell you now. So this is my American Amber Ale, which I affectionately named Donald's Fake Tan. So this version on tap has now come to itself. I had bottled an experimental side of it, which I made. So the leftover wort I chucked into a demijohn and whacked in some Kvike yeast onto it, because it would only go to waste from the bottom of the kettle anyway, because I would only fit 19 litres into a keg. Filled up the demijohn, bottled those beers. I had a test bottle and I tested this at the same time, side by side, again trying to nail the categories with where this beer is going to fit. And I much preferred the Kvike version. I didn't feel it had any, for my palate, I didn't feel like it had any Kvike characteristics, you know, with like the farmhousiness, or it just felt clean, a very nice clean beer. And so what I did, I submitted those bottles instead of what was on keg, with the normal yeast of USO 5 I used with this one. 3 weeks on, this one's spot on, and my god, I got torn a new one with the feedback of the American Amber, in a funny way. I was having suggestions of to check my sanitisation processes, my bottling processes, check my equipment for infections, etc, etc, because again, it just was not to style. So I went from, and I think that one was a 25 point average. I didn't even print off the feedback sheet. I was like, fine, fair dues, lesson learnt. But it's a great experience, and I'm looking for more homebrew competitions to enter, just for that type of feedback and experience, really. So if anyone knows of any judged homebrew competitions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to enter more. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I've been brewing, still brewing like hell. Yeah, this beer, it's a nice, crisp, bitter beer. It's lovely. Side by side with this, you can see that's been sat there now for a while. No flies have attacked it yet. Maybe that's a sign that it's a craft beer, I don't know. I think that's about it. So yeah, upcoming videos. I've got my test batch at the moment, like I said. I didn't vlog that, unfortunately. I was literally making it up as I was going along. If it turns out to be a decent beer, the shed smelt like I had a bloody bonfire going off in here with the smoked malt I used, but fingers crossed it's going to be alright. If that turns out okay, I'll do a review video of that. My buddy Rob from Thomas and Lilford went to their relaunch on Saturday, and his hop supplier has given him these hops for feedback, basically. And Rob hasn't got a pilot kit system, he's just got the all or nothing type of ballsy approach to things. and he's given me these hops to come up with a beer to showcase the hops for him. And I would love to have some feedback off you guys as to what to do with them. So I've got plenty of Marisota and pale malt, plenty of other speciality malts as well. Don't test me, but there's quite a bit there, and I'd love if you guys can come up with a recipe. Who knows, if I pick your recipe and develop the beer that you suggested, of course I'll send you a couple of bottles as well. The hops are Sterling 9.9 alpha acid. I've never used these before, by the way. We've got Jarilo at 14.8% alpha acid, and then we have Liberty, which is quite low alpha acid, 3.6. So yeah, if you guys fancy coming up with a recipe that will showcase these hops or the profile of these hops, it'd be very much appreciated. Or any suggestions, whether to do three clean hopped beers and dry hop with each of these or something. Split batch it 3 ways. Maybe that's an option. I don't know. I don't fancy doing 3 5-gallon batches, that's for certain. So I'd rather do a split batch or 1 mega hop bomb. In terms of weight, I'm not too sure. Just say they're approx 100 grams each. I think that's all from me. So, thank you to all you new subscribers. Special thank you to all you existing subscribers. And yeah, if you want to see more, medals, so it would be great if you could stick around, hit that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you in the next one. Iechyd.